They fought hard, they fought tough, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. Buffalo Bills are a good team. Josh Allen has definitely come into his own this season, and it just shows when you have a quarterback. Um, Even if your defense isn't what it was, especially with us with a missing pass rush, or excuse me, a non-existent pass rush. It's amazing a great quarterback can cover up a lot of things. Stephon Diggs had a hell of a game. The Niners tried zone. The Niners tried man. It didn't really matter. Um, they're just not skilled enough at the corner position. Now, I've made videos and talked about how Verrett, and Mosley and Sherman and them have played relatively well, but the Niners do lack that shutdown guy on the outside. Not investing in corners in the most recent drafts is definitely something that's come back to hurt them, especially with their pass rush being non-existent. You look at defensively without a pass rush, it just you're not getting any pressure on a guy, and when you do, he still escapes out of the pocket. Missing Dee Ford and Nick Bosa is an understatement. You wonder if the Niners have to address defensive line again in the draft, depending on where they draft. I thought Nick Mullins played pretty solid, but not good enough by any stretch of the imagination. He's just so limited on so many things, especially when you play a quarterback like Josh Allen, who can, move and throw from many different arm angles and throw from the pocket or outside the pocket, and then the Niners are so limited in what they could do in the passing game. Brandon Ayuk had a fantastic game. He looked magnificent. He had the one drop over the middle that caused a pick, but I blame that more to Mullins. He threw a lot of poor balls over the middle low. And, you can only expect your guys to get so many of those. I know if it hits you in the hands, you're supposed to catch it, but I blame that more on the quarterback. I think the Niners overall skill position wise are a really talented team. But they just don't have enough to stay toe to toe with some of these teams. They just don't score enough. Their quarterback is not good enough. Their offensive line is not good enough. And unfortunately, teams are going to play the run and force you to throw, especially if they know you have a quarterback like Garoppolo or like a Mullins who can't beat you. And that's what happened tonight. By the time the Niners were able to move the ball, it didn't really matter. They answered, the bell a couple times, score for score, but Buffalo was just more electric. The Niners defensive backs had some miscues and some miscommunications. Sherman, I know Tarvarius Moore, I speak his praises, but as talented as he is as far as with speed and range, he makes a lot of costly mental errors, and it's disappointing because you might possibly be moving off of Jaquiski Tartt this year, and if that's what you're going to have to deal with in the long run, I don't know if it's worth it. But, I look at that. I look at, we have players on every level that are great, but we just don't have enough where it counts. And that's in the defensive pass rush and at quarterback. We have tight ends that are good. I think we have 3 good tight ends. When healthy, we have a plethora of running backs. I think wide receiver wise, we might be able to use another wide receiver. Kendrick Bourne, he's nice, but Debo and Ayuk are electric, and I feel they could use another player there. Hopefully they can retain Jordan Reed after this season. I think Jordan Reed is an asset. I think if you have a quarterback who can get these guys the balls, it'll make all the difference. There's some plays to be made out there, and they just don't have it in the quarterback position. But give Buffalo their credit. Josh Allen is a really good player. Stephon Diggs is awesome. Their defense came to play when it mattered and made some plays. I live in Buffalo Bill area, so even though this is a 49ers channel, I want to give props to them. I mean, this is one of the most loyal fan bases in the country. I live in upstate New York, Rochester, and Buffalo's not too far away, and we got Bills fans all around here. So as much as I hated losing tonight to the Bills, I have a lot of close friends and family that love the Bills, and it's nice to see them doing well. I wish it wasn't against my team, but they're a really talented team. I don't know if they're as talented as Kansas City, say, or Pittsburgh, but they're definitely getting there, and good for them. They have a lot of good players on their team, especially offensively. The 49ers did their best to try to stay with them, but the Niners just don't have enough in the defensive pass rush, and they don't have enough at quarterback. So mazel tov to Buffalo. Good for them. We have a lot to work on. We're technically still not out of it, but, mathematically we're still in it, but I think another loss would pretty much seal it for us. You get caught in between, should we draft, where we should draft and, trying to make a playoff push. But I'll be honest with you, the quarterback position on our team, neither Garoppolo or Mullins, I just don't see a deep playoff run with those guys at quarterback. I'm sorry, I don't see it personally. Some of you might agree, some of you might disagree. And again, with the defense not having any pass rush and having to stay on the field for so long, it just, even if we did make it into the playoffs, I would see us as an early exit. But that's just my opinion. I'm not forcing that on anybody else. You guys might have a different opinion, and that's cool too. I don't really have much statistical stuff to talk about. I'm just going on what I saw tonight. If you guys had any other things to add, drop a comment down below. Drop a like and subscribe if you like what you hear. And if anything drops or changes during the week, I will definitely hit you guys up with some information. All right. Catch you on the flip side. See ya.